guys, Ham Solo here, Mike K0FYR. So, it's been a while since I did a video. Wasn't a whole lot going on, and so I wasn't sure what I wanted to post. However, I think since the last time I have passed my general exam, and so I got my license for general, and I'm looking forward to the HF bands. And to kind of kick all of that off, I thought it was about time that I did some grounding and bonding. I know that's going to be controversial subject for most people. So basically, I'm just going to show you what I did. I went online, I researched for many months different grounding and bonding from all of the major people, and saw a lot of YouTube videos on it, and read a lot of journal articles and stuff from ARL and Ward and a whole lot of people. And so I'm going to show you what I ended up doing. And so it's not the only way, obviously, and it's not probably the best way, but it's what I did. And so if there are comments, hey, you should have done this, you should have done that, maybe eventually I'll get in and reorganize and do that. But I think for right now, what I have done is appropriate, and this will all be in prep for when I finally get an HF radio and then put up in the attic an in-fed random wire, which is what my plan is. And so this is kind of like the starting of that. And so I have a lot of still pictures. I'll record audio over it, and I'll try to put them on the computer so I can trace or highlight what I did with the cursor. And this is going to be for grounding and bonding of Ham Shack prior to, like I said, putting in the HF rig. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy, and make sure you subscribe and hit the like button, and that way you'll get notifications with the little bell icon whenever I post videos. Alright, so hold on just a second. Alright, so what we have here is in the front of my house, there is a inter-system bonding termination bar. And basically this bar is one of the electrical code requirements, and what's supposed to happen is basically if you had to, let's say like cable TV or phone system cords or whatever, they're supposed to go to this inter-system bonding termination bar. It is running, I think this one over here is about a number 2, and that goes through the wall into the actual physical box, the electrical wiring box for the house. And inside that box, they are connected to the U for ground for my house. And so grounding inside of the box sends a wire out to this inter-system bonding termination bar. I have run a number 6 solid copper to the bar, and so I've got that wire strung along my stucco, and it's running underneath a ramp that we have in the front of the house. And so given that's the area that I'm running it from, under the front of the house, and it's going down into my crawl space where it's adjacent to my radio. I talked to several different electricians. I had 2 of them come out and give me quotes. They were fairly expensive, upwards of $1,000 or more, trying to do this system, and so I figured that I should probably be able to run it myself. And so used all of their recommendations, terminating a number 6 solid copper to my inter-system bonding termination bar. This video here is showing where it's running underneath my stairs and it goes to, or I'm sorry, the ramp, and then it goes to the wall that's going to be where it's coming into the house. So this ramp that's in the front, and I've got steps over here to my front door. So it's running underneath this ramp. Got it tacked up along the boards there. And then it runs in and goes to the wall right there. And I have a bored through the wood here. I put some PVC pipe. It's a very small piece, maybe a 1/2 inch in size. Run the wire through the 1/2 inch of the PVC pipe that's just through the wall. And then I put some spray expanded foam there. And that's what's blocking the hole. This is kind of like a still shot. See if I can get a little bit closer on it. And so wire just comes in, goes through that PVC pipe. It's got expandifoam in the hole. And then once it gets on the other side of the wall, moves some of the insulation out of the way. That's where it's coming through. Again, expandifoam there. And then the wire runs along the boards inside of my crawl space. And then as it comes down in the crawl space, and I'd say the height of the ceiling in the crawl space right here is maybe 5 feet. And so I have the wire coming down, number 6, right? And it runs along to this grounding rod. So I put a grounding rod right on the other side. My radio's on the other side of this wall. So I've got a grounding rod right here. I had to go in at a 45-degree angle just because the height of the ceiling right here is only 5 feet. And so it's an 8-foot rod. And we pounded it in at, me and my son pounded it in about a 45-degree angle. Got a, basically it's a continuous piece of wire from the inner system bonding termination bar running to the grounding rod with the where it's coming through the clamp. Then it goes to this bar right here, and that bar is one of those Arico single point termination bars. Let's see if I can get a close up of that grounding rod. A little bit too close, I can't get down farther enough. So it's just one continuous piece of wire, and then it goes to this single point bar, copper. This insulated green is running up to my antenna up in the attic. So I got my antenna connected to that bar, got brass washers, some Penetrox for the screws, and then some copper paste. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head right now. And then here there's a grounding lug. And so again, that piece of number 6 is running to that grounding lug. Again, it's connected to the bar. And then it runs into the room through this conduit. Antenna wire here. Antenna ground here. Ground from the rod to single point, and then into the room. Alright. Then as it comes through the wall, it comes down to a bus bar. That bar right there is from ham radio outlet. Actually, I got it straight from Chris, K7FP Metalworks. And that's where that bar comes from. I'll do a close-up on it. And basically that number 6 is running into a lug here on that bus bar. And so number 6 out of the wall runs down into a lug on the bus bar. And then it's actually running to this one right here. So I took this picture before that. And then you'll see I've got the 1/2 inch tin braid is coming off of different lugs here. I've got 2 pieces, and eventually I'll put this in a ferrite core. This power cable from my radio going to my power supply. But I've got the tin braid is running through and connecting to the chassis of both the power supply and the radio. And so here's the power supply. Tin braid is going, and it's actually hooking to the ground screw behind this piece of braid. And this braid goes up and then attaches to the side of my Kenwood. And again, I can see Penetrox where I have the tin braid attached to the copper bar. And that was kind of the point of doing this. So when I get, and I got a fairly long bar. This bar is about 36 inches long. And so when I put my HF radio here beside it, we'll have connections here for power supply, antenna tuner, radio. And then I've got, this one is the one that number 6 is running into from outside, or the grounding rod. And then I still have a couple more over here, lugs that I can add. I was actually missing one of these wing nuts when I ordered this from K7 FP Metalworks, and I emailed him, and he sent me out one right away. And so I got one first class mail. He actually sent a wing nut and a couple of washers for anything that I might have been missing from that one lug, and so that was kind of nice of him. And so I have everything now is bonded to this bus bar from the radio and the power supply. You know, this picture. And then that bar has the number 6 attached to it here. And that is this picture. So again, zoom in the best I can, but it's already tight up against the wall. And that's where it's doing, it's in that, and then it runs up through that wall again. Comes out to common point lug. Antenna wire attaches here. When I get my HF infed up there, I'll put another ground here for that antenna. Then of course that runs immediately to a ground bar 8 feet long in my crawl space floor. And then all of that number 6 is just one continuous piece. As it comes up, runs along inside of my crawl space, comes out through the wall, runs along underneath that ramp, and we saw that video, and then to the intersystem bonding termination bar. And so feel pretty good about it getting done. I'm glad that I've got it. It saved me at least $1,000, if not a little bit more. I had to buy the wire. The wire was probably the most expensive thing. I think that number 6, and I bought 90 feet, and I ended up with probably 15 feet extra. So I could have got away with about 80 feet. And that was running it, along underneath that ramp into the crawl space to where that bar was, and then from the bar into the room, all one continuous piece. It was about 80 feet, and that was in the neighborhood of about $98, I think, for all of that 90 feet of wire. Was about $98, with tax. Because I think where I got the number 6 from was about 98 cents a foot. And so feel good that I got it done. I am now ready to go and get that HF radio, the infed random wire, the LDG remote tuner, and of course that's going to be 9-to-1 balun for the random wire, 1-to-1 choke, some coax cable, and then get all that run, and then I should have an HF rig to go along with that general license I told you about earlier in the beginning of the video. So appreciate your time. This is what I had for this. Any further questions, put them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the little icon bell so you know that when I'm posting the videos, and like the video. That'll help. So signing off. This is Ham Solo Mike Kilo Zero Foxtrot Yankee Romeo. Thanks.